in my research, it seems like everyone has an investment in who started it first, and it was India,
You're,
it was
yeah,
Africa,
you're right
it was
about
here,
that.
it was
You're right
there.
about that.
It's like
Yes.
ownership, right? People want to have some kind of
Yes.
ownership,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's creates confusion. And
I totally get where you're coming from. And to be honest, I will jump straight in an attack mode. Uh, Usually African Americans do that a lot, to be honest, because I'm from Africa, I'm from Kenya, and I live in Dubai, and I've been able to do over 70 different nationalities here, not just from Africa, from weird places, Sweden, Norway, from Chad, countries you're like, the people with dreadlocks in Libya? Like, it's a Muslim country. Yes, they are. Like Syria, I'm like, yes, I've done someone from Syria, Lebanon, you name it, I probably have. Somalia, I had a guy from Somalia. I'm like, you guys have dreadlocks? It's like, yeah, like, so the reason why I'm saying this is because that ownership comes from a lack of understanding first, because you can't own something that will cannot be owned. There are dogs that have dreadlocks. What if I'm just trying to look like the dog? There are sheep that have dreadlocks. I have seen sheep that have dreadlocks. There are cows that have buffaloes that have dreadlocks. So we can't start to quantify into positions because it's everywhere. You get it? But to get back to the topic of the origin, who really, really started dreadlocks, I personally strongly believe that it was started by every culture simultaneously, because any hair that will not be combed will definitely mat up. And you can call it whatever you want to call it, mat up, you can put any style about it. Like I do, and I'm going to use the word black and white the same way, because I'm not trying to come from an offensive. So I use black people and white people without any prejudice. You know what I'm saying? And you feel free to use that in this conversation. You can say black people. You don't have to be all political about people from African descent. I'm not that kind of a guy, just say black people. It won't be offended to the least,
right.
So whether it was white people, whether it was black people, every time you look into history, you find that every time people didn't comb their hair, mad people, crazy people in any country will have matted hair.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah.
And the difference between how they mat is based on texture. You get it? So the variations of how they mat but it's matting all the same nonetheless.
Yep.
However, the reason why before I say the reason why is I have studied through, and the oldest evidence, and I say the oldest because that's what the research has shown, is from Greece. The Grecians are the oldest people that show they have dreadlocks on. In the same time with Egyptians. And a lot of people forget that Egyptians are black people and they're Africans, because the pharaohs braided their hair, they had wigs, they had weaves, and they had dreadlocks. It was part of the civilization came in, and people were trying new adornments. It wasn't just one thing that people were doing. You want to say something?
Right. If you see, I put my hand up. I just don't want to interrupt. The Egyptians in the hieroglyphics, right? You saw coils of locks, and we'd use the mud, right, to
yes,
position them in that style, and it was a sign of wealth and kingship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. And so from my research, and then that is one part where the evidence that is there, okay? And also you look at the people who are the followers of Shiva, the Shivites, which is Hinduism, is the oldest religion. The oldest evidence of religion is not Christianity. Islam is the youngest, but it's Hinduism. It has the most evidence of its age. And Shiva is the god among all the gods of the gods. There are 3 million gods in India. Shiva is one of Lord Shiva is one that sits there with Ganesh, and he's the Lord of Lords. And so the followers of the Shivites have their hair, they're called the Sadhus, have their hair in dreadlocks. Right. And if they are the oldest religion, then it's clear to say that they had dreadlocks as far as their religion goes. Shiva himself had dreadlocks in all the pictures and videos. You will see that he had dreadlocks. So when it comes to the origin of dreadlocks, It's everywhere.
Yeah.